this is what we at The Last Word call a quorum. Thank you very much for joining us together tonight. Senator Klobuchar, as chair of the Rules Committee, this was a fascinating intersection with both of your roles on the Judiciary Committee, because this is a point that Senator Whitehouse is making repeatedly in the Judiciary Committee about how we get the Supreme Court nominees that we get. And this is after decades of all of us focusing on what money in politics does for candidates. This focus broadens it considerably.
It does. And Sheldon has been leading the way on this now for years and making the point. And guess what? We ended up where he said we would. You were right. And that was that all of this dark money coming in, funding the Supreme Court justices and the nomination process have gotten us these extremely out of the mainstream conservative justices who are now, for the first time in history, we have a Supreme Court, as you point out, that's taking away people's rights. And so one of the solutions among many, and we know we're doing immediate work right now on doing everything we can in state after state after state to fight this decision in the Dobbs case to take away women's rights, reproductive rights. But at the same time, we've got to look for the long term. The long term, as Sheldon will tell you, is about making sure that we find out where this money is coming from, who these donors are. People are given over $10,000 of this dark money. We don't even know who they are. That's what the Disclose Act is. That's what our hearing is about. And 90% of the people in one poll, 85 in another one, are with us on this, Lawrence. We need this information, and we're going to be able to then better track what's going on in addition to winning the elections in the fall.
Senator Whitehouse, what's the short version of what the Disclose Act would do, and what happens to it if it ends up in front of this United States Supreme Court?
Well, it would require the disclosure of political contributions in a race over $10,000. And it includes campaign advertisements for justices as well as campaign advertisements for political candidates. So had it been in place during the Gorsuch and Kavanaugh and Barrett proceedings, we would have known who wrote checks as big as $17 million, one check for $17 million to pay for the ad campaigns for a Supreme Court justice. What do you bet whoever wrote that $17 million check has business in front of the court? And we should know that. Citizens should know that. And so we're going to fight very hard for this. It's going to be difficult for the court to address this issue because they are the court that dark money built. And their loyalties to dark money have been made clear in the Americans for Prosperity Foundation case. But the premise of Citizens United, of the justices who signed off on Citizens United, was that dark money, anonymous money in politics is corrupting. They have said that. It's an 8-to-1 point of that decision. And so they're going to be hard-pressed to walk back too far from that point.
Exactly. And in fact, Scalia, this is a quote from Scalia. I know you like when I quote Scalia, Lawrence. He said in this decision, because as the Citizens United, of course, is been a very bad case. In another case, he did say, I do not look forward, this is in 2010, Doe v. Reed, to a society which, thanks to the Supreme Court, campaigns anonymously hidden from public scrutiny and protected from the accountability of criticism. This does not resemble the home of the brave. Why I bring that up is that on 8-to-1, the justices did say in the past, it is legal to put these kinds of rules in place for disclosures and disclaimers. So that's why when you ask what would be the fate of this bill after we pass it in the Senate, after we win this election in the fall, I think we will stand well, only because even the conservative justices acknowledge that you could put these rules in place.
Now, I can remember the days when Justice Scalia was considered the extreme right edge of the Supreme Court.
The good old days.
It strikes me now, Senator Whitehouse, that he'd be somewhere near Roberts in this mix.
Yeah, the difference is that Justice Scalia was perhaps an extreme conservative, but he was a real conservative. The new justices, the Trump justices, the Federalist Society justices are different. They're not conservatives. They're activists, and they're doing the bidding of very big special interests. The special interests that used millions and millions and millions of dollars in dark money to put them on the court. It's capture that's happened here, not conservatism.
Senator Klobuchar, going forward in the Judiciary Committee, is there any way, short of legislation, to continue to press this case the way we've seen Senator Whitehouse press it? There's a sort of Don Quixote quality to it in these confirmation hearings. When
I look at you, that's who I think of, Sheldon. Okay, continue, Lawrence.
It makes you Sancho Panza.
He just keeps charging with that dark money sword, and
he's right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Judiciary Committee, of course, we've been pushing on the John Lewis bill and other things. Remember, it's not that long ago then we had that Freedom to Vote Act vote. Remember? All the Democrats signed up on that bill, every single one of them. There are a few that wouldn't lift the filibuster, but we are close to moving forward on major election reform. I have not given that up one bit. When you look at all the games that are being played in these states and the laws that are being passed to limit the right to vote. Well, part of this, and by the way, this Disclose Act was part of that, but this Disclose Act can stand on its own. So as chair of the Rules Committee that has jurisdiction over elections, that's where we're going to push this bill forward. And of course, we can get it to the Senate floor for a vote. And Senator Schumer has committed to Senator Whitehouse for that vote. And we want to see that vote.
And in Senator Klobuchar's hearing today, he committed again in his public remarks. So it's a good day.